Hello, I am Dr. Saroj Kumar Nayak and this is IS Gurukul Mission Baripada. Today we are going to discuss about the impact of domestic transformation and changes in India to be an aspiring global powers or the factors for rise of India as a strategic powers. We are going to discuss about that. So what are the domestic transformations by which India can attain the status of global power? For that, as we know, that after independence, when Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India, in his speech he told that India will be the fourth powerful country in the world, that means the global powers. And the first, second, thirds are the USA, USSR and your China. So from that he dreamed that India, open after some years, it will become the fourth powers. We have everything. We have natural resources, we have human powers, everything. But till India did not achieve the status of global powers. But there are some transformations that occurred in India by which we can achieve, or we are going to achieve the status of global power very soon. And as you know, the present governments and the government which was led by your Manmohan Singh, they are working in a very efficient manner to make India into a global powers. But for making India a global powers, what is the domestic transformation that is very essential to learn by which we can attain that status? First of all, that is your Indian economic growth. Second is political changes, and third is the military expansion and modernization. These are the three transformations that is very essential to make India into a global powers. Again, I am repeating. First transformation that we need is Indian economic growth. Second is political changes, and third is military expansions and modernizations. So, as you know, why economics is, or economic growth is very essential. If you understand, or if you remembers the concept of Karl Marx, that everything, every structures of this society is based on the economic substructures. So all structures exist upon the substructures of economic conditions. So it is also better known as the economic determinisms. Economic condition that determines the status of a country, of a persons, of a individuals, of a family. So we should be very strong in our economic condition to be one of the global powers in the world. So let's discuss it thoroughly, that what is essential. You see that this is your domestic transformations that can lead into a global power. First of all is Indian economic growth. You see that this is your Indian economic growth. So which is the most important conditions. And if you will subdivide it, it will be the India's economic growth first. Simply we have to increase the monetary strength by which we can make ourselves economically very strong. Next is your human development strengthening. Human development strengthening. That means the condition of human should be very good, or this should be economically very strong. Each individual have sufficient amount of money so that it can leads a better lives. Or human development indicates the educational developments, the health development, and all the things. So in the Indian economic growth, first is Indian economic growth, second is your human development strengthening, and third is the global investment. As you know, my dears, that India, if want to be a global power, so the third thing, that is global investment, it is very essential. Global investment indicates, so India would have the capability of investing in the countries in which the resources are available, and in the policies of India should be like that we can attract the investment from foreigners. As you know, Narendra Modi government, he initiated the Make in India policy. Make in India policy is a very good policy for attracting the foreign investors to India. By who is our people? They will get the jobs. They will get the employments. We are importing the ammunitions and various things from abroad. By who is? We are spending a lot, but our peoples, the peoples of India, they are unemployed. So this Make in India, campaigns, it will reduce the unemployment in India. So when we are discussing that the India will becomes a global power, so very important is Indian economic growth, that is divided into three things: your India's economic growth, second is human development strengthening, and global investment. So India should invest in other country, or it should get the chance of investing in other countries, and India should also attract the investment towards it. Next is your political changes. Political changes is very important, that you know that the various political parties, that they have some other concepts and ideology. So there should be some political changes by which India can become one of the global powers. So it can be, if you will see, it can be subdivided into various categories: your integration of domestic and foreign policy, confident pragmatism. Second, this is your confident pragmatism, and emphasis on the national powers. Next is your greater emphasis on global socio-political soft powers. So these are the very important concepts. So there should be some changes in political field. That is, the political parties or the government should be ready to integrate the international policies with the domestic policies. We should build such type of rules and regulations by which is in concurrent with the international laws. We can take one example, that the NHRC or SHRC, the National Human Rights Commissions, it is according with the charters of the UN declarations, or UN, according to UN it is formed. So we should form the policies in accordance with the international laws. That is the integration of domestic and your foreign policy should be made, so that we can make or we can prove to ourselves to be the global power. Next, we should be confident pragmatism. We should develop, because orthodoxy cannot gives us that status of international power. So we should be in pragmatic in formations of the policies. Next, if we want to be a global power, so there should be emphasis on national power. So our national powers, in the national levels should be increased. Otherwise, we cannot be the global powers. And the last of political change is the greater emphasis on global socio-political soft power. That is, so we should put not only in the development of the nations, but also we should put emphasis on global socio-political soft power. That is, we can take examples of the religions, and the as Narendra Modi did. We influenced the whole world by observing the Jago Day, that is your June 21st June. So if you will see or remember that when India observed the Jago Day, the whole world makes Jago. That is simply, so we are able to influence the world, that it is very essential, by which at least the names of India came to the mouths of the people of India, of people of the world, by which we influence the minds of the peoples, and it is also one of the things by which we can become, or we can make one steps towards the global powers. So these are the very essential things, and the most important thing is the military expenses. So whatever you do, if you do not have good military powers or military capability, no one will care you. Simply, if you know that the nuclear capability of USA, that is making or giving it a status by which it is influencing the whole world. I am talking about the USA. Similarly, if you do not have the military capability to resist others, to defend the country. So you cannot be one global power. So the military weapons, the arms arsenals, it should be one sophisticated and modernized by which we can protest, or we can resist the attacks of other country. So it is a very essential that the military expansion and modernizations be made. So there should be sufficient number of persons that are who should be engaged in the military, and the arms ammunition that should be very modernized. So a strong military is very essential to be the superpowers or the global powers. So again I am talking that the domestic transformations is very essential to make India into a superpower or global powers. So again I am repeating that there are three transformations which is essential. One is the economic growth, second is the political changes, and third is the military expansion and modernizations by which India can become the world or global powers. So I am Dr. Saroj Kumar Nayak, and this is IS Gurukul Mission Baripada. So we are providing coaching for civil service IS OS examinations. You can directly come and join, and we are dedicated for your preparations. So again I am inviting you to visit Baripada, and wishing you all the best. Thank you. Jai Hind.